cases. So the question I ask again, always to the lawyers, is what is it going to take for a judge to finally say enough and either level a giant fine against Trump or take the step that is within their power in these circumstances if he violates a gag order and toss him in the pokey for some period of time? What's it going to take? Are we ever going to see that or not?
Lisa, Rubin, you want to answer that?
It's a really difficult question to answer. I'm not sure we're going to see that, but I'm also not sure that issuing a further gag order is necessarily the answer here. I had a conversation earlier today with Michael Cohen, who, as we all know, is a known witness in this upcoming case before Judge Merchan and is a person covered by this existing gag order, right? We can talk about all the ways in which Judge Merchan and his daughter are not currently protected, and Michael Cohen is. And Michael Cohen's point to me was, if you think that the gag order changes the universe in which I live as a witness and a known enemy of Donald Trump, you've got something else coming. I walk down the street every day in fear. I get death threats every day because I am a person known to be involved in this proceeding. And the fact that he can no longer speak out against me, even if he abides by that order, doesn't change the daily existence for me and my family. So not only do I want to say to John, I don't know what the answer is, but I will tell you that even further expanding the mechanisms that we already have doesn't seem to be an answer for those people who are already protected, because for them, the damage has already been done. And that's because the real threats here now are coming from the MAGA world. And I think about three words. They are Abigail Jo Shry. Abigail Shry is the woman who called Tanya Chutkan's chambers shortly after the federal election interference indictment was handed down and made a threat to her voicemail that is so ugly that I won't repeat it here, except to say Ms. Shry is now under indictment herself. We used to live in a world where the threats to judges were from actual litigants before them. That's the situation in which Judge Salas found herself when her son was murdered by somebody who had been a litigant before her. That was also the case in the case of federal judge Joan Lefkow, who still serves on the bench and whose husband and mother were murdered by someone who had been a litigant before her. And even years before then, there was a federal district judge in New York who was murdered in his backyard by the father of a woman who had a sex bias case against him that he had dismissed. But we're far afield from that now. The threats to judges and their families are no longer even coming from actual litigants. They are coming from adherents to every word that those litigants utter, and words that they might not be uttering at all, but people in their universes are uttering as surrogates on their behalf without any fingerprints on it, without any even overt encouragement or direction. That's the atmosphere in which we're living now. And I fear that the gag order itself is insufficient for the times in which we live, Nicole.
Glenn Kirshner, we've had a lot of these conversations. Donald Trump made a mockery of an insurrection. Donald Trump made a mockery of the Mueller investigation.